Hello everybody, it's only me from Enchanted Gardens. So today I'm somewhere different. I'm not actually at Enchanted Gardens. I am so delighted to be with Suzanne at the Abbey Physic Garden in Faversham. Now, I am ashamed that I haven't been before. Been a little bit busy, as you know. I've just had a tour and a walk around, and my description is I feel like a very small child going to school for the first time. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what I'm going to see, what I'm going to experience. I feel very, very strongly that there needs to be some kind of connection or collaboration between the Abbey Physic Garden and Enchanted Gardens, because we're so completely different. I'm absolutely in awe of what they are doing and achieving. They've been going for some 30 years. So I've got Lanissera fragrantissima behind me. What more do you want? And we're in the moon garden. I haven't got a moon garden. So, first things first, I can't believe this has been going for 30 years.
Yes, it's wonderful, isn't it? It was originally started when the institutions were closing down, that care in the community time, and it was kind of local people and GPs got together to kind of think of somewhere where people could go and have purpose, spend their time purposefully and therapeutically, and that was the original idea behind it. So it was for people with long-term mental health needs. It was the Schizophrenia Fellowship, I believe, and funded by the National Health Service and Rethink. And it was one. Well, they set it up. I mean, it was just completely overgrown and wild, and it's just kind of developed for over the 30 years, and it's still supporting people, which is wonderful. I think it goes to show that what we're doing is right. It goes to show, but we know this, just the incredible many beneficial properties of plants and nature and connecting and taking notice of how you feel, how something makes you feel, and why you need to sit in a garden or grow something or smell something or learn about why that plant is good for you. We know this.
So the reason you're different from Enchanted is because you're not focused on just gardeners.
No.
So your focus comes from another place, giving so much needed. Would you say it's got the support for people who have a diagnosis or are struggling with grief perhaps or something?
All of it.
Is it increased?
Definitely, and there's always going to be a need, isn't there? It has increased even from COVID, which seems such a long time now. That impacted so many people on so many different levels. So we are absolutely seeing the fallout from that still. It might be also people who are new to the area, people who just like what we do, people who haven't got a garden of their own. We've got informal mother and toddler groups who come and use the garden. That's really special. So outdoors gardens and plants and just nature is for everyone of every age, isn't it?
Of course it is, yeah.
And so it's the connections that people will come here originally because they've probably maybe been referred here because they might be just having a troubled time, and it's so for them to increase their confidence to maybe go back to work or just get out of the house.
If they're struggling to get out of the house.
Massive.
And also, this is applicable for all age groups.
Yeah. Children have to obviously come with parents. They're responsible for them because we couldn't possibly. We don't have the staff
I understand.
to do that. But people just either hear about us word of mouth or they drop in. We've got Laura, who runs Forest School Skills for preschool kids.
Oh, that's
and
lovely.
She doesn't hold groups just here. She holds them all over the place, and it's just beautiful, lovely, natural nature's way of introducing them to nature and everything that it gives and offers.
And also, because we had to do our first aid training, and this is where we met a team from the Abbey Physic Garden. And we met a chap called Ian.
Yep.
And Ian is dealing with men's difficulties in sharing and being outside and being practical. Can you tell everybody a little bit about that?
It's the Men's Shed organisation that was set up years ago. It's kind of a worldwide organisation now, started in Australia when they recognised, I think there'd been a high increase in men's suicide rates, and it was kind of, they looked at what is going on and what might be some solutions, and they came across the idea of maybe a men's shed, because men love going to a shed.
Men hide in their shed.
That's kind of where it came from. That just a space for men to go to, because they're notoriously bad at seeking support when they need it.
All the doctors.
So that's the idea behind it. And it's not about men having to come and do woodwork or anything. Some love to do that. Some pass on skills to others. Some will just come for a chat because they're lonely. It gets them out of the house. It can just be just life changing for anyone that comes to any organisation like this that kind of offers connections and friendships. And then there's a little shift that takes place. And the learning of new skills, whether they're learning about plants or gardening.
And possibly for a young man that doesn't know what tools are what, that has no grandfather or parent to advise them and help them with that safely. And then they can perhaps visit here and learn that way as well.
Absolutely.
So actually, can anyone gain what you would call a life skill coming to the Abbey Physic Garden?
Absolutely. There's, even like you were saying earlier, you met our crew we were all doing like
from the first aid course.
So there's all those kind of courses that are on. That might be too much for somebody to go to somewhere else and too many people. But what we can offer here is smaller groups. It can be going to college can exclude so many people. They're unable to cope with even a bus journey or how busy it is. So having spaces like this to participate because you want to, and it's manageable. It's just so empowering for people.
I mean, what I've noticed is the way you've divided the garden up for various groups and various activities. You just feel it's like this moon garden. It's like a cuddle. It's like you're getting a little cuddle. It's
a lovely way to describe
it. And then there's another private area over there, and that's got seating. So you could actually have lots of people in this moon garden, and they don't have to sit near each other.
No.
And they don't have to talk to each other unless they want to. If they want privacy, and there's a real feeling of closeness and safe kindness. It's lovely. The whole atmosphere here is beautiful.
Thank you.
It is so beautiful.
It's what we try, it's what we want, it's what we strive to provide, so not to impose our needs, or I can cope with a lot of people and it wouldn't impact me in a negative way, but we do know it's just by listening to people and asking people and observing people, where do they go, where are busy spaces, and so allowing for the quieter spaces. You've got to have those calm, quiet, I need to get away from. That is too busy, it's too noisy, or I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to be on my own, but I don't want to talk to anyone.
Yes.
And like you say, you could just sit over there or over there, not have to talk to anyone, but you're not on your own.
No, you're not.
People here. It's kind of that kind of feeling, isn't it?
I think a gardener would just fully appreciate just the garden aspect of this. But can you be a little bit more concise on the type of people? You're so established and you're offering so much. You'd say the people that you do want to visit you here, specifically to benefit from what you are offering.
And definitely people who are struggling with mental health issues that might be stopping them from connecting with others, from getting out of the house, from going to work or college, or seeing their family. If it's destructing their lives, it's for them. People who are struggling, also people who are bereaved. That's a hard one to go through, isn't it? Might be people who are retired. People can find that really hard.
Yeah.
Even pick carers. They do everything for everyone else, and the last person they think about is themselves. Those kind of people, we've got to take care of ourselves first.
We've got to take care of the carers so that they can continue to care.
Absolutely. Young people, anyone who's struggling, and it can be, what's really common is, I know something's wrong, I don't know what is wrong though.
Yeah.
I just know something is wrong, and kind of places like this, and meeting other people, or just sitting down with a cup of tea and having a chat with somebody, can give you a little bit of a breathing space and a break to think about, well, what is wrong? How do I feel? How do I really feel? And just help you think about little changes that can maybe happen, to make little shifts change that make things more manageable, enjoyable, bring a bit of joy into our lives. There's so much stress. Oh my
There is,
goodness.
and doom and gloom.
Absolutely. So that it is kind of, try and leave that outside the gate.
Yes.
And come in and give your head a little break.
You can see today you've got a wonderful course on to help people to connect with food.
Yeah.
A small group in a small environment. You're all fully equipped. So you run a number of really, really fantastic courses. Everything you eat in the kitchen, you grow more or less.
More or less, other than the winter when it's all gone, we grow it all, and yes.
So that's really, really sustainable.
Very.
So that's cooking sustainably, gardening sustainably.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just totally self-sufficient.
Not bad.
In all ways. The other thing is you have membership. So the other lady was speaking about a membership to the Abbey Physic.
Yeah, we're all members, so we pay £15 a year. I mean, if somebody hasn't got the money, they don't pay. It's not about that. It's kind of about being just being a member of this super little place. And for a lot of people, some people like to be a member because they don't come here necessarily or don't need it, but they love supporting what we do. So that's kind of nice. We've got other people who are long-term unemployed, and to be able to have, I'm a member of the garden, or when they're in Tesco's or something, and people will say, oh, you work at the garden, don't you? And it's, yeah, I do. It's that purposeful activity. And just because someone is unable to work at any time in their lives and for however long, it doesn't mean to say they haven't got something to offer and give back that is really purposeful and beneficial to other people.
And also, if just everybody in Faversham paid £15,
oh wow, yes.
and only a few needed to come into this space, that £15 is better than putting a tenner in a pot for an unlocal, not necessarily part of the immediate community in Faversham. I mean, you will see Faversham people here.
It's a really good point, and it's because we are a charity and have to rely heavily on funding applications. The it looks really favourable on us that we get that local support, because we can say, oh yeah, we get lots of people in, or people think we do good work. That's kind of so what, really, that the membership base that shows the extent of what people, how we're regarded in the community. So really,
you would be better to support your local community.
Yeah, they can get left out, can't they? Sometimes
that can get left out, and there's no less importance to them.
No.
So right, well, I think we'll close it there. I can't thank you enough.
Thank you.
I'm going to buy somebody a coffee. What's that all about? I'm going to
the pay it forward scheme.
Pay it forward.
That's beautiful. Lots of places have it. So people can, when they buy themselves a coffee or buy themselves lunch, they can pay for one for somebody else. Really lovely for people that are struggling. And so we just have a lovely little board in the door, so people can just take a little ticket. They haven't got to ask for one. They can just take one and take the ticket to the hatch, and there's their meal. It's nice because it can be a bit embarrassing.
Isn't that fantastic?
It's wonderful, and we do get a lot of support for that. It's beautiful. We always start it for Valentine's by a love lunch, is what we call. A lunch of love for somebody, because it is a lovely thing to do, isn't it? Yes, nice. Thank you.
Right. Well, I'm just going to go and do that. You've got to pay attention to this bench. It is beautiful.
Isn't it stunning?
It is
absolutely
so pretty.
And these are plants that are in this part of the garden as well. It's lovely.
Right, so it's bye-bye from me and bye-bye from Suzanne from the Physic Garden in Faversham.